We're stuck thinking that we, as the ego, the mind, the body, have to figure out everything on our own, that we have to do everything by ourselves, that we have to expend all of that effort in order for us to get something, to achieve something. And that's absolutely overwhelming us. That's what's keeping us stuck in this disconnection, in this invalidation of who you truly are. You remain stuck. You choose to remain stuck. But what if that's not the case? What if that doesn't have to be the way you go about with doing something? What if there's a much easier way to get things, to be whoever you are, to do whatever you want, to get whatever you want in a much affluent manner? Now, we all know that feelings, that our emotions are the most authentic aspect to ourselves. We know that you can fake your actions. We know that we can fake our actions towards something. We fake our thoughts towards something. You can act all you want that you like that person. You can act all you want that you like your job, that you want to be here, that you want to do this. And you can even think it in such a way. You try to force those feelings, you try to force those thoughts and actions. But when it comes to your feelings, it is your best indicator of your true alignment, of what you really want, of what you want to be doing, of where you want to be going. And that's why your emotions, your thought, your feelings is the determinant factor when it comes to manifestations. Everyone tells you to feel the thing if you want to manifest it, to be the thing if you want to manifest it, because the feeling, the emotion, it's coming from who you truly, it's coming from your subconscious. It is your alignment. We can act all we want, we can think all that we want, you can keep thinking and acting that thing, but it's not what you are truly aligned with. And that's why you cannot act and think your way towards a manifestation. That is not to say, this is not to discourage or dissuade you from actually acting and thinking towards your manifestations, towards something you're trying to manifest, but that is to say that there is a much more easier way you can go around with doing something. You can go about something, you can go about achieving something you want in your life. And that is when effortless effort comes into action. That is when inaction becomes your best action. Because you can certainly act and think your way towards a manifestation. You can do all of those forced actions, you can do all of those forced thoughts, and eventually they are going to create forced emotions and forced feelings. If you keep doing something long, this is the concept of fake it till you make it. You keep doing something long enough that you feel absolutely an aversion to it. You don't want to do it. It is sucking the life out of you, but you just keep doing it. You exert all of this effort, and eventually you're going to awaken the feeling towards that thing, and you're going to become aligned with it. And once you awaken that feeling, then it's going to manifest. So in reality, what caused the manifestations was that your emotions aligned with that thing. Your feelings, your true self actually aligned with that thing, and that made it a reality. And that would be matter creating matter versus energy creating matter, which happens so much easier, so much lovingly. And that's something also that Abraham Hicks mentions a lot, and it is that you never do, it's the path of least resistance, right? That you don't do anything unless it provides you, it gives you relief. That you don't have to put all of the effort, you don't have to act towards something in order for it to manifest in your life, but rather just do whatever you feel like doing. And what that means is that you align with that thing beforehand. And that's the difference between inspired action and forced action. And it makes all of the difference in the world. It is it's a huge difference in how you end up manifesting, because one, the effort action, the forced action is going to overwhelm you, it's going to make you feel burdened, it's going to cause you, it's going to be a journey of struggle, suffering, darkness, because you're forcing your way through something you're not aligned with, you're forcing your way through something you don't want to be doing or thinking. But eventually you're gonna feel it and it's going to manifest, versus the other way of effortless effort, the effortless action, in which you actually align yourself, in which you actually raise your frequency, raise your vibrations until it aligns with that thing, and in turn you're going to feel inspired action. You're going to receive those intuitions, and then those intuitions are going to turn into actions, inspired actions, which are going to be very smooth, they're going to be very easy, you're going to put them in play without any effort, they're going to feel effortless. And that's the concept even of Wu Wei, right? That's the one of the main tools or concepts in Taoism, and we spoke about that in my last video about effortless effort or effortless creation in more details. And that's basically what it is, to only do inspired actions, and in inspired actions you won't feel the effort, and in doing only the inspired actions you are going to be able to generate more and more success more easily. I'm gonna leave a link in the description if you are interested, but that's basically the essence of it. You are telling yourself, you are letting yourself know that you don't have to do it all by yourself, that you don't have to exert all of this effort, that the manifestation, the creation is happening from a higher dimension. It is not happening within this dimension. And sure, like I said, you can create matter, you can be matter creating matter, but when you know that you are energy, when you acknowledge that you are energy creating matter, that you are pure consciousness, and you can imagine anything into being, you can manifest. This whole life is manifested in the mind of our higher dimension. This is energy, this is pure conscious energy exploring itself through this 3D manifestation. And in this 3D manifestation, depending on how you choose to experience this 3D manifestations, then you are creating, you are painting your path in this manifestation. And those are the micro manifestations of whatever you want to manifest in this whole life of manifestations. And that's why once you acknowledge that you are energy creating energy, and in turn that energy is turned into matter in this 3D reality, because everything here is seen as matter, everything around you is actually energy. No matter how solid it might seem, it is actually vibrating, and it has the same energy, it has the same subatomic particles like the stars, like you, of course, like everything else. And once you truly acknowledge, just once you connect to who you truly are, and you are creating from that path, from that perspective, that you are able to put anything, you are able to make anything into creation, then you won't have to actually force actions and force thoughts and fake it till you make it. And then once you align with something and you get that inspired action, you can put that actions into play. You can actually carry out those actions, and you won't feel overwhelmed. You won't feel burdened. You won't feel as if you hate what you're doing, as if you are stuck in doing this because you need it, because you're desperate for it. As long as you feel as if you need to work hard towards that you need to think all the time about it in order to become a part of your reality, you're actually creating resistance. You're creating a concept of lack within yourself towards that thing. And in this lack, you're pulling further away from actually manifesting that thing. Because you are thinking, you're always thinking about, think about everything normal to you. Think about, your house, your job, your food, your water, your whatever that is, your friends. You're not actively thinking about them all the time, because you know for a fact that they are a part of your reality. That you don't have to put all of that effort, you don't have to think about it all the time in order for it to happen, because it will just keep happening. Similarly, that is what's meant by effortless effort. Here you are manifesting, you are always manifesting your friends, your sleep, your job, your pay, your food. You are always constantly manifesting those things and how are you manifesting them? Without any forced action, without any forced thoughts. It is just pure alignment, and that's why I spoke about this before, and I will always speak about it. I have a video about your best sign to know that your manifestations are about to happen. I'll leave also a link to it. And I speak about a very personal example to me, and it's one of my best manifestations. And I did it when I was not even trying to manifest it. I was living in the knowing that this thing is going to happen, that this thing cannot be a part of my reality. It was something that left from, so I was trying to manifest something out of my existence. I manifested something out of my reality versus something into my reality. And so I was not even trying to manifest, I was not visualizing it, I was not meditating on it, I was not thinking on it, and I was not even putting any action or effort, because anyway there was no effort for me to put in order to enhance it as manifestation. And it happened miraculously. It felt almost as a miracle, and that is what is meant by intentional manifestations, by intentional creation. That it feels, it more often than not, it comes from which and where and what you least expected, and it feels like a miracle almost, because you are creating from energy. When you are and because you're not acting towards it all the time, you're not actively thinking about it, you just know it as it is part of your reality. You just know it to be, and in that knowing, you are trusting, you are believing that it's going to happen one way or another. Now, this is not always just positive, because be aware, you could be doing the same thing in a negative manner. And that's why you could be trying to force your action towards something, you can be trying to force your thoughts towards something, but it's not happening. And more so, even the exact opposite is what's actually happening. And that's why it's not just absolutely, positive to you. From our own perspective, we won't see it as an absolute positive experience, although we are non-dual and we experience opposites simultaneously. So there is nothing really such as good or evil or good or bad. That ultimately everything is meant to be, everything is for our highest good, is for the collective highest good. But when you are trying to do something, and I'm sure we've all heard the stories, you know someone who've worked hard, look around you anywhere, ask any of your friends, ask some of your friends, ask anyone you might meet, a random stranger. Many people would be working hard for their entire lifetimes, yet they're not manifesting what they're trying to do. They're not manifesting what they're trying to get or be. And they're still struggling through it, they're still suffering through it, because it's all forced action. They don't like where they are, and so they cannot get to where they would like to be. There's another quote by Abraham Hicks. It tells you, if you want to get, you can't get to anywhere, you can't get where you actually want to get to. I'm sorry, I'm not recalling the quote perfectly, but it's something along the lines that you cannot get to where you would like to be unless you already are where you like. So you can't get to where you want to get to unless you already are where you want to be. And that's the paradox. That's the paradox of effort. Because you can try all you want to put all that effort, to exert all of this pressure, to overwhelm yourself, and to be matter creating matter. Eventually you're going to feel it and manifest it. Even this has become evident, many people in the world, they've worked so hard and eventually got to manifest something, greater, even greater than what they would expecting. And that's because in this effort, we are physical beings and we rely so much on our physical senses. And that physical action is the highest form of effort to us. We put our sweat and tears and blood into something, and that means we earn it, we deserve it, and in turn that translates into an emotion that we raise ourselves to an alignment with that which we are trying to create, and in turn it is created. And we often go thinking that it happened through our action. It happened because we forced ourselves through, dark times, that we put all of this effort, that we were always forcing our way through something, and we struggled against all odds. I mean, sure, but that only happened because what you did gave you the feeling that you've earned it, gave you the emotion that you belong there, that you've aligned with that thing. And then that's what manifested it. And so if you're trying to get to somewhere, You have to feel that you already are where you want to be. And that's why if you are forcing actions, if you look around you and if you ask anyone, they're trying to force their actions, it means that they don't feel like they are already where they want to be. Because if they already know it for a fact, if it's already part of their reality, they won't have to force actions, they won't have to force thoughts, and it would rather come so easily, so inspired and fluently to them that it won't feel forced, and in turn they're going to feel as if they are already there, and it's going to happen because the universe reacts to who we are and not the other way around. That is the essence of effortless effort. That's one of the essential concepts that Taoism is built on, and even in modern sciences, in modern psychology, the paradox of choice, paralysis by analysis, analysis paralysis, the paradox of overthinking, they all indicate such things. They all indicate that your way to success, your way to figure out something, is not through forcing, is not through pushing into it, is not through forced action, forced thought into having to figure and controlling everything to that thing you're trying to create, but rather in just taking it one step at a time and not forcing things into being. You know, I have many videos about those, the psychological concepts. I mentioned them several times in other videos. And so that is what it's meant. You would find some people who are trying to force their way to something. They've been working hard so much for so very long, and they've been thinking about that thing they want to create, they dream of for so very long, but it's not happening. And it is for this reason. It is because they don't feel it as if it's already there, because they still think that they have to sweat and put all of that effort to get there, to keep thinking about it, to keep looking for new ways to achieve it, to put a plan, to make a plan B and plan C to actually get to it, which is the opposite. Because once you feel it, once you truly align with it, your brain is going to start looking for it externally. Even more so, if you look from that, once you're aligned with something greater than who you were in the past, once you align with once you raise your vibrations, and you look to your past, you look back at your past, it won't seem as bad. If you had, for example, a dark experience in your past, if you've suffered through something in your past, now it won't feel as bad, because now you're in a different vibration, in a different alignment. And that's when you know that you are actually shifting, that your manifestations are about to be created in this 3D reality. Whatever you were trying to attract is about to manifest in this life. And that's why, you don't have to force yourself through things. You don't have to force your actions. You don't have to force your thoughts, but rather just be it, and it is going to manifest. And that is the essence of manifestations. I've spoken about this many times before, and I will keep speaking about it because I believe that it's one of the most important aspects to manifestations, if not the most important, and it's effortless effort, which is the paradox of effort in essence. The more effort you're going to exert, the more you're going to build resistance towards that thing, because now you are averted to it. You feel as if it's not happening. I'm trying and trying and trying, and I'm hating what I'm even trying because it's forced, remember? And you're hating it, but it's not happening. And now the paradox happens, because now you're creating more lack, you're feeling more lack, and you're creating more resistance, and you are pulling further away from it while you are putting more effort towards it. And I've experienced that before. So it is from personal experience, it is from observation of every tiny detail of my life, and it's from the observation of the lives of many of those around me. That's all I wanted to share for today. Thank you for tuning in to another video by AF's Conscious Frequency. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it. Thank you.